Have you ever wondered why people stay in jobs they hate, relationships that hurt them, or routines that slowly drain the joy out of their lives? It seems irrational. If something makes us unhappy, why don't we simply change it? The answer is both fascinating and unsettling. Your brain is not designed to make you happy, it is designed to keep you alive. And from your brain's perspective, what is familiar is often safer than what is better. This single principle explains countless human behaviors. It explains why people repeat the same mistakes, why they return to toxic relationships, why they postpone their dreams for years, why they know exactly what they should do yet somehow never do it. The strange truth is that your brain often prefers predictable pain over uncertain happiness, because uncertainty has always represented danger. Imagine our ancestors thousands of years ago. Trying something new could mean poisonous food, dangerous animals, or getting lost away from the tribe. Those who were cautious survived. Those who took unnecessary risks often didn't. Your brain still carries that ancient programming, except today the threats are different. Instead of predators, the danger might be changing careers. Instead of starvation, it might be starting a business. Instead of getting separated from the tribe, it might be speaking honestly, ending an unhealthy relationship, or moving to another city. Your logical mind understands these situations are different, but your survival brain reacts almost the same way. It whispers one simple message: stay where you are. At least you know what to expect. Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain constantly tries to reduce uncertainty, even when certainty is painful. This is why people often confuse familiarity with safety. You may not love your current life, but your brain knows it. It has memorized every routine, every emotional reaction, every expectation, and anything unfamiliar requires more energy, more attention, more risk. The brain naturally tries to avoid that effort. This is also why change often feels uncomfortable, long before it becomes rewarding. Think about learning to drive. The first lessons are exhausting. Every movement demands concentration. But after enough repetition, driving becomes automatic. The same process happens with emotional habits. If you've spent years worrying, your brain becomes efficient at worrying. If you've spent years doubting yourself, self-doubt becomes automatic. If you've spent years expecting disappointment, your brain begins predicting it before anything even happens. Eventually, these patterns stop feeling like habits. They begin to feel like your personality. But they aren't. They're simply well-practiced neural pathways. One of the most famous ideas in neuroscience is that neurons that fire together wire together. The more often you think a certain way, the easier it becomes for your brain to repeat that pattern. That means comfort isn't always something positive. Sometimes comfort is simply repetition, even if repetition hurts you. This explains something many people experience but rarely understand. Imagine someone who grows up surrounded by criticism. As an adult, they may feel strangely comfortable with partners who criticize them, not because they enjoy being treated badly, but because their brain recognizes the emotional pattern. It feels familiar, and familiar requires less mental effort than something completely new. The same thing happens with success. Someone who has never believed they deserve success may unconsciously reject opportunities that could transform their life, not because they don't want success, but because success feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar feels dangerous. This is why knowledge alone rarely changes behavior. Most people already know they should sleep more, exercise regularly, eat healthier, stop procrastinating, spend less time on social media, yet knowing isn't enough, because information changes the conscious mind. Habits live much deeper. Real transformation begins only when repeated actions slowly convince the brain that the new behavior is no longer a threat.